Hey friends, welcome back to Evolve or Die. Today we're going to be talking about a really interesting, very lucrative emerging industry, and it's the metaverse. So I kind of want to start by giving a little background. I don't have much experience in the gaming sphere. I didn't grow up like playing games when I was a kid. I was more of a reader, but I didn't really have much exposure to playing games until very recently. My fiance got me into playing these like RPG games that I actually found, very fun and very stimulating in a lot of ways, like visually and intellectually. So I entered a new realm the past couple of years in entering the gaming space. But I want to talk a little bit about the case for the metaverse in terms of investing and in terms of digital transformation. The case for the metaverse really runs like directly parallel with our existence on this planet. Like, if you ask yourself, or if you ask somebody else, what comprises your existence? What is your existence made up of? There's going to be a lot of different answers to this question, depending who you're asking. Some people's experiences are comprised of assets, property, ownership. Some people's, existence are comprised of stimuli and experience and accomplishments. Some it's relationships, bonds, emotional experiences. So there's basically a digital universe that's being formed directly parallel with our own, and it's just really interesting because if you look at the core reasons, like why do people play games in the first place, why are they so addicting, why are they so stimulating, it provides that experience. There's endless possibilities. You can create whatever life, you can create whatever avatar, whatever you identify yourself looking as. What do you want to look like? What do you look like, in your imagination? And you can make that come to life. You can make all of your your visions, you can make all of your dreams basically come to life, and you can do it through really unique, really creative ways using these different forums. And what we have available right now in the crypto metaverse is, I would say they're really kind of basic as we speak, just because this is a new industry that we're entering into. It's like, of course, we've had gaming for years, we've had social media for years, but we're coming to an intersection where our social networks and our communication networks are going to be intersecting at a crossroads, and they're going to essentially fuse together in such a way that's going to create even more stimuli, even more engagement, even more like even more magnetic draw to the space. So gaming, like for me personally, I discovered that I really like games that have, a storyline. It has a build of the characters in the beginning. It establishes, relationships between the players. I like, the multi-character games. And that's just because of a real life personality trait that I have. I like to go through the simulations. I like to be encountered with these different scenarios, and being prompted to like respond on the spot, like how am I going to respond, how am I going to make this decision, and how are these decisions going to impact the outcome of the game later. So it's interesting because those kinds of games are a simulated reality. It's like we make decisions every single day. Our decisions impact the following sequence of what happens next. So there's just a huge case for the metaverse in terms of just drawing upon the human psyche and exactly what what makes people feel fulfilled. Like in real life, it's transferring over into this metasphere. So it's super interesting, super exciting things going on in the space from a philosophical standpoint. But now we're going to get into more of the more of the tokenomics, more of the futurist prediction for where I think the space is headed as a new emerging industry. And I just want to quickly show you guys a video introducing Facebook's metaverse, because I mean, I think it's great to start with the event that has sent the entire space rallying, and that was the change of Facebook's ticker symbol to the metaverse. So we're going to look at this video here quickly, and you guys will be able to get an interesting understanding, a more, hands-on look at exactly what Facebook's metaverse is trying to attain. And then we'll talk about, some of the other actually decentralized crypto projects that are emerging from this space as well. So we're going to dive right into this, guys.
I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet, and it's the next chapter for our company too. So I've been thinking a lot about what this means for our company and who we are as we embark on this journey. We're a company that focuses on connecting people. While most other tech companies focus on how people interact with technology, we focus on building technology so people can interact with each other. One of the reasons I started Facebook was that at the time you could use the internet to find almost anything: information, news, movies, music, shopping, except for the thing that matters most of all: people. Today, we are seen as a social media company, but in our DNA, we are a company that builds technology to connect people. And the metaverse is the next frontier, just like social networking was when we got started. Facebook was born in a specific time and place: a college campus, the web. It was what we could build at the time to put people back into our experience of technology. But connecting people was always much bigger. From way earlier on, I remember sitting in middle school classes, sketching in my notebooks.
Okay, we're going to skip forward a little bit. We all know the origin of Facebook.
But increasingly, it just doesn't encompass everything that we do. Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, Quest, now Horizon. Our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still...
Okay, this is actually not a great video. Here, we're going to look at this one instead. Just a couple of seconds, so you guys can see a visual of exactly what these companies are trying to attain, and the reality that they're trying to bring, to life.
This is wild. Hey, check this out. Charity auction happening. Oh, there's swag.
And when you go to the after party, you could connect with other fans, hear new versions of your favorite songs, and check out the merch that just dropped.
Ooh, I like that. Well, now you've got to get it.
You can start to see how the metaverse is going to enable richer experiences by letting us add new layers to the world that we can interact with. Creators and artists are going to be able to connect with their audiences in new ways and really bring them into these shared experiences. Now, there's a lot that needs to get built to create experiences like this, but we're working on some of these pieces right now with Spark AR. First, we're building tools that creators can use to place digital objects into the physical world and let people interact with them. And rather than just simple visual effects, new creator capabilities will support 3D objects that can respond and react realistically, including a realistic sense of depth and occlusion. In the next year, we're also adding the ability for creators to connect different physical locations into cohesive augmented reality storytelling experiences, like guided tours or scavenger hunts. We're also building a Horizon marketplace where creators can sell and share 3D digital items.
So guys, I'm going to stop it there just because he did a great job in explaining exactly how rich and how infused with experiences this space is going to be, not only on, like a physical level and a metaphysical level, but also on, a monetary level. So there is so much money flowing into this space right now, you guys. There's digital real estate being purchased within some of these forums. A Canadian investment in company very recently purchased a $2.5 million plot of land of virtual real estate within Decentraland. And guys, this is huge because it's like we talked about earlier. This space is emerging alongside the reality that we already live in. We talked about it. What makes up certain people's experiences, that ownership, property, assets. You're going to be able to monetize your presence within the metasphere the same way that you can in real life, in real time. So it's such an interesting way that we're going. And there's a lot of money flowing into the space right now, you guys. You can see here that the top metaverse crypto gaming tokens are listed here by market cap. Decentraland is at the top. I'm sorry, Decentraland is 23, actually. 23 by total market cap of the entire crypto tokens. But in terms of the metaverse by market cap, we do have Decentraland at number 1. Sandbox is very closely following. I think they're going to surpass them here very shortly. Axie Infinity, Engine Coin. So we can see a lot of these tokens are rallying. They've been rallying ever since Facebook changed its ticker symbol. But in terms of which do I personally think are going to be the best picks, what do I think is going to be the winner? Well, to answer this, we have to think back to what Zuckerberg said. He said that this is a new era of the internet. This is a new generation. Web 3.0 is what we're entering here with the metaverse and blockchain decentralization. So when you think back to the .com era, right, during the 90s, there was rallying, there was market frenzy, there was everybody afraid of missing out on Web 1.0. And many companies, many companies, hundreds of companies IPO'd, hundreds of companies saw themselves going into a bubble, due to the .com frenzy. I think there's something very similar happening in the metaverse. And I say this because we're in such early stages of this industry. It's going to be really hard to determine a winner at this point. It could be Decentraland, it could be Axie Infinity, it could be Sandbox, it could be Engine, it could be the winner, the win all take all could be a crypto project that hasn't launched yet. It could be Illuvium, it's too early to determine it right now. And of course, Facebook's metaverse is going to be a huge player in the space. But the way that we're moving, the way that DeFi and decentralization is being sought after, the way privacy to data is being sought after, I think there's going to be a mass transition in the coming years away from centralized social media forums and the platforms and spaces and ecosystems that form that allow people to operate in anonymity or operate completely separated away from their real life identity. I think those are going to be some very lucrative projects that have a place in the forefront of the space. And I also think that whichever project that emerges and I do have a couple of stock picks I want to talk about Roblox in a few minutes, but I think one of the huge winners is going to be whichever one of these decentralized gaming atmospheres that are able to bring the metaverse, they're able to bring the gaming tokens, they're able to bring the entire experience to an intersection with esports and sports betting and fantasy leagues. I think that's going to be a huge pillar in the future society and how we interact with each other. Like if you watched my video about sports betting, you will remember that more people in the United States follow sports than they follow politics, then literally they follow the legislation that governs them. They would rather follow sports. Sports is a very profitable industry in the United States. And I think that with so much money flowing into this space in terms of NFTs, you know, that digital ownership, the digital copyright, digital patency, you know, that digital asset ownership, there's going to be a massive, massive transition in the way assets are stored and recorded and owned. There's going to be a massive shift, and we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. We're seeing digital real estate being purchased by the millions by institutions. We have never seen this before. And going back to why it's going to be hard to choose a winner at this time, you guys, you have to remember the dot-com bubble. 99% of internet companies failed. 99% of technology companies failed. The ones that prevailed, Google, Apple, Microsoft. Those were the three giants. Those were the three conglomerates that made it out of that dot-com bubble at the top, you know, at trillion-dollar market cap tops. So the entire crypto space as a whole has a market cap of above $3 trillion at the time of this recording. And I'm just looking at CoinMarketCap here, showing you guys a few, you know, tokenomics, but the market cap for the metaverse on its own is just under 50 billion. It's just under 50 billion. We've seen trading volume over the past few months increasing about 35%. There's about $23 billion of trading volume going through the space. And this is just huge, guys, but it's too early to tell, I believe, like which one is going to be the Amazon, the Googles, and the Apples of the, you know, of the Web 3.0 era. I think it's too early to tell, but it's not too late and it's not too early to get yourself exposed into these different metaverses and figure out ways to monetize your skills and monetize your abilities within the space. So guys, I am not making this up. I was browsing LinkedIn for cryptocurrency jobs before I started my current job. I was, you know, just browsing, and I kid you not, I saw a listing for a waitress in the Decentraland metaverse as a waitress at a casino in the metaverse, like a US dollar paid, you know, job listing. And I wrote an essay not too long ago about the entire wave of evolution that we're going to see following the adoption of crypto, gradually then suddenly. Crypto isn't a new industry. The metaverse isn't exactly a new industry either. However, it is new in terms of normalcy, in terms of mass adoption. So we're seeing, you guys, we're seeing jobs being created around the crypto space. We're seeing jobs being created in the metaverse. We're seeing so much adoption and so much money flowing into the space and so many opportunities and ways to monetize your ability. So within these within these metaverses, so my plan personally, I plan on building, building my own plot, building my own sphere, and I am an artist. So I plan to, Sandbox offers you can be a creator basically. There's a creator mode, and my plan is to get in there, get in on the ground floor and put some creations out there, put some content out there, because I really just think it's too early for me to figure out which gaming token I want to YOLO into. I think the play here, excuse me. I think the play here, you guys, is to monetize your skills and abilities. If you're an artist, get some NFTs in the metaverse. If you are amazing with 3D modeling, get yourself design some real estate, design some crazy architecture that you could potentially monetize in the metaverse. I really think that's the play here, because there's an entire universe literally being created directly parallel to ours that's enabling people to leave real time but still create real time money. And it's such a fascinating time that we're entering, you guys. And I really think that's the play here. I do plan on very soon creating, what we talked about, some experiences, some storytelling games within the Sandbox metaverse, because again, that's something that I also like to do real time. I'm a writer, and I love writing, and I love creating art. I'm a creator. I love creating content and art. And it's just going to be really fascinating to start interacting with these different forums, and not necessarily just, throwing money into the coins, even though I'm doing that also. I am doing that also, but I'm buying them all. I'm buying them all of the top 5, because it's hard to see the winner. It's hard to see the winner right now, because there's so much evolution that the space needs to go through. There's so much to come, that there's so much technology that hasn't even been incorporated into this experience yet, that we're in the very archaic stages of it. But this is the time to expose yourself to the functionality of the space, I believe, and diversify. I think now is it's the time to diversify amongst all of the coins, because like we said, it's so early. It's so early in the metaverse craze right now that we won't know for sure for a while which one is going to come out on top. And Roblox is a company that's also a gaming company that I think is going to have a pretty strong presence in the metaverse. At least they do at this time. Their company valuation is about 70 billion right now. That's pretty high. They have a pretty high valuation, but they're also, they're making their footprint. They're making their footprint in the space. I've never personally interacted with the Roblox forum, but I do plan to in the near future. I have seen it's very engaging amongst children. My nieces talk about it all the time, but they have some pretty solid financials. They've been rallying also ever since that ticker symbol changed. The ticker symbol change from Facebook to MVRS really just sent the entire metaverse gaming space rallying. Roblox were up about 48% on the month, up about 38% over the 6-month time frame. But yeah, that's kind of, I just wanted to share my 2 cents about the metaverse. Like, I have a lot of exploring and a lot of actual interacting to do with this space, but I just wanted to share the case for this industry, because I do think it's going to be extremely profitable. This is not financial advice or anything like that. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for the next video. I'll have some more metaverse information as I do more research, and as the space evolves more, as it evolves, you know, that's what we're here to do. I'm here to bring you guys the evolution as I'm experiencing it. So stay tuned, guys, and keep evolving.